Alright, we're live. Good morning, YouTube. We're going to break down the charts here in a moment. I got to go grab a coffee, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and invite the Telegram. So I'll give everyone some time to get in here. Alright, Telegram's been invited. I will let you guys get in here. I'm going to go grab my coffee. If you're seeing this, I will be back in literally 2 seconds. Alright, we're back. We are back. What's up, guys? We're going to start breaking down the charts, though. We got a little bit of time. We got about 15 minutes. We want to go through all our pairs. Don't want to spend too much time. Just need to grab my coffee really quick, but we're going to start with AUD, US dollar. Shorts did not work out yesterday, even though, honestly, it was kind of discouraging because it was such a good setup, like structurally, that it just was, like, pretty disappointing it didn't play it out. So we're going to just kind of keep tracking the 4-hour structure on everything really quick. And then we'll drop to the 15-minute. But it looks like AU and Euro are still maintaining that bullish external trend. And even getting a little bit more bullish internally here this morning, which is good. Especially Euro, look at this, right? We're trading back above this level now. So for 15-minute, if we can get that to be bullish, it's probably going to be a good sign. I'm out of breath. The coffee was downstairs. I had to run and grab it really quick. I was running a little bit behind this morning. I really was trying to actually get on 10 minutes earlier than I did today. Still everything, all these 4 pairs right here are still maintaining being in an uptrend. Kind of similar thing with US CAD. It's kind of maintaining that downtrend right now. Right, we are breaking upwards internally some, but you got to understand overall the external range. We have to look at external ranges. The external range is in a downtrend. It looks like the markets are actually going to start making the move today that we wanted them to make yesterday, which is good, Now we're going to have to see which pairs line up with that that structure now. Already off the bat, though, Euro's looking the best. So everything's kind of in alignment. All these US dollar pairs, right? US dollar is projected to be bearish across every single pair right now. So going to AUD USD, let's just see if any are actually in that ICC pullback. First and foremost, Euro is, right? Euro did come back, pull back below that level, and now it's trading back above it again. But we're going to just go ahead and we're going to look at all pairs just to make sure we have time frame alignment on all of them. And we're going to mark the ones we don't. So we're trying to look right in here right now for basically a 15-minute uptrend. So I'm just going to eyeball it a little bit instead of tracking all these candles, but basically yeah, we're in an uptrend in AUD US dollar, because had this been one big range, we wouldn't be. But over in here is not necessarily a range because it starts breaking down lower. And then we start closing above like highs in here. So like respectfully, this is kind of like the 15-minute structure right now on AUD US dollar, which Australian dollar is really, there's not much sellers in it as a whole. If you look over here to the left, like every other pair was pressing down last week and this pair just refused to go down. So buys on this pair aren't like terrible. They almost even happened yesterday. So AUD US dollar is an option. Euro US dollar now. Euro US dollar, let's make sure that's a little bit lower. Yeah, so thankfully right here you can see there is a slight pullback. We didn't go lower, we created that range. I'm just going to save the time of all the candlestick noise in here, but basically we closed above that range, creating an uptrend now on the 15 minute. This was being the low, and this is actually the 15-minute range we're in right now. I'll show you, I can see it right now. This is the low of that 15-minute range that we grabbed liquidity off of. This is the high of it, but we're bullish on the 15-minute as well, and we're also bullish internally on the 15-minute, and we're trading back above this level finally. So Euro US dollar is going to be a good trade as well, one that's one of our options. Good morning, guys. Yeah, this last Friday's candle is not ideal for structure and everything, but basically what it did, Luca, is it created a massive range. So as long as we're in this, it created a range, but also shifted the direction of the trend. This big candle made everything, or this downtrend, now we're in an uptrend. So honestly, we could have seen price went higher yesterday. I'm not like marking off that trade yesterday as a bad trade, because you see times like it where it happens. That might not be a good example. Where's a good example? Okay, maybe that is the example I'm looking at. Oh, I'm thinking of Euro US dollar. Oh well, I will go over that in a little bit. Let me but yeah, price after a candle like that, it could actually start to go higher even in here, or it can pull back all the way, or it can flip the whole thing. That's why I'm just mainly looking for structure alignment over everything else. We had a solid trade yesterday. Everything was in alignment. It didn't play out. All right, we're looking at GBP USD now. Price did close lower here. Here's the thing though, after it did, we created a downtrend, which we started reversing right here. And basically this is going to be the structure now for GBP USD. It's going to be looking like this. So we're in technically an uptrend. This is probably not going to be one of our best pairs. It's a little bit more messy. Especially with like this being kind of like the low of this like downtrend technically right now. Yeah, so a little bit messy. Also didn't come back all the way to that break of structure. And it's kind of trading back above this break. We got bullish back above this break, so it's a valid option today, but it's not 100% what we want to do. Now, New Zealand US dollar. Let's take a look. Same thing. New Zealand US dollar looks like it could be an option too. It's bullish. We're really gonna have to switch to the 1 hour and pick our best option, but price did have a downtrend range right in here, and then we did flip it, and basically internally now we're also bullish, and this looks to be right here about like the trend we're in right now for that 15 minutes. So New Zealand US dollar is an option as well. We've still got 10 minutes before we're gonna enter the market. US CAD, that's a beautiful short probably, honestly. We just got to make sure we're not, it might not be actually, it looks like it is in here, but here's the thing, looking a little bit to the left, you want to make sure you're never stuck in a range, right? And this just happens to be the range we're stuck in according to the 15-minute candle wicks. So it's wicking the top of this range. It probably will go down. Everything else is in alignment with it, but it's still, this 15, this is probably, if I'm right, this actually isn't even going to be an option, right? US CAD's not even going to be an option, because if you see that 15-minute range we're stuck in, still bullish. It's still a bullish range. So yeah, this pair, US dollar CAD's not even an option. Let me make sure too, looking a little bit to the left on all of these pairs, to make sure you're not stuck in a range on all of them. You know what I mean? I mean, technically, GBP USD has been in an uptrend on a 15-minute range just because of this push. Not the same with Euro, and not the same with AU. But GU is not even in an uptrend because of all this right here. It is in an uptrend on this side of things right now, but it's still mainly in an uptrend because we're in this massive range that has this high right here and this low of the range right here, even on the 15-minute. So, let's go to US dollar Swiss franc. We got 9 minutes. We're basically trying to dial in our pairs that we have potential to take a setup on. Now, US dollar Swiss franc, we want to make sure we're not in any type of uptrend range, which we're not. You can see right here, we actually do shift lower, and so then we get into a downtrend right here that does seem to shift higher, and then once that happens we break down and we actually are in a downtrend on US dollar Swiss franc, and that downtrend is literally right here right now. So this is an option as well. A lot of things are in alignment today, so a lot of things have potential to be a trade. Go to the left a little, make sure we're not. Yeah. Okay, so US dollar yen now. We are in a downtrend for sure, but we were in an uptrend for quite some time. We did peak back below that level as well, but basically this is the range. It's clear as day right now. That's the range we're in for US dollar yen. So now we're just gonna peek over. We've got every pair except US CAD that has potential to be a trade for us to get into. I'm gonna look for mainly the ICC today to see which pair is the best option, because we really want them to pull back to that break of structure and then to pull back under. US dollar yen did do this. We pulled back above here and we traded back under already, making a pullback, rejecting those highs, refusing to go higher. We could go lower. US dollar yen's already looking better than US dollar Swiss franc. New Zealand US dollar, it's a good option, but it's like, I mean, we're kind of getting below like over here, but it's not like the break of structure that happened way up here. So it's not bad. GBP USD, like I kind of said from off rip, I'm not a big fan of it, because we just mainly missed pulling back as deep as we probably wanted to, which is probably a good thing though, because you got to see, like, if Euro had the ability to pull it back that deep, it probably means that the Euro's in itself is a lot weaker than the pound is, right? So the pound is actually probably holding value against it, which isn't a bad thing. So Euro even now coming up and trying to get higher and failing to take those highs. Maybe GU is taking those, or now it's doing the same thing. It's wicking them. But the fact that it didn't come back all the way, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? But we are also taking a 15-minute protected low in here, so probably not the best thing to see that. Euro, we're inside this big range as well. 15 pips is halfway decent. AUD US dollar, this might not be a bad trade either. I think we're really narrowing it down right now between US dollar yen and Euro US dollar. I'll be completely honest. Now, US dollar yen and Euro US dollar, we kind of have the same thing going on. Here is that thing, we're inside of this bigger 15-minute range. And yeah, basically US yen is probably going to make attempts to pull back below there again and to drop further. And Euro US dollar is already pulled back above here. Now we just kind of want it to maintain the bullish structure that is formed after doing that. But we are creating equal highs right now. We do have to get back above here. But here's the thing too. This is what Euro US dollar and the other pairs in US yen really don't, or have that don't. It's like this massive volume, right? We want to see massive volume like this come off of that break of structure when we start trading back above. Like, what time was that? That was literally at 8 p.m. last night, right? So that means there's real orders and like real interest in buying back above this level. So the fact that we're maintaining an uptrend and absolutely failing to go lower again after a massive drop yesterday, Euro US dollar is not a bad option. The 4-hour trend yesterday was still bullish, or at least on Euro US dollar. We'll go over some of those things in a little bit though. The count's at 503,000, so, or just under it. It's 502,834, and I'm gonna look to get into Euro, I think, guys. Like, just looking at the setup, we're pulling back in this little 15-minute move higher. I like where we're going directionally. We're gonna try to maintain that, but we got 3 minutes left. Ideally, we want to take these highs out. There's no news today. News doesn't come out until tomorrow. or no, Thursday, I mean. Yeah, no news until Thursday. So we're just kind of going off structure this week. But not only is 4-hour structure bullish, we also are failing to go lower on the 4-hour. We're starting to take out this high. If we were to maintain a downtrend, we wouldn't want to take that out whatsoever. And then also 15-minute external structures bullish along with internal bullish. So 4 hours just starting to get bullish internally, and the 15 minutes bullish internally and externally. So we've got these two time frames in alignment, not only externally, but they're starting to get in time frame alignment internally as well, structurally wise. So we got 2 minutes left. Gonna look to get into this long position though, is what I'm gonna do. And then I'll take a look at the chat. It's just hard when honestly, that's why I wanted to go on 10 minutes earlier, because I basically wanted to have time to go through all this. But that 20 minutes is, you guys see, we go through every pair and we're super dialed in with what we're doing. But it takes the full 20 minutes. Like, we got a minute and a half until we're about to place our trade, and we had to decide. So it's like, the overall, guys, the main thing that I think is going to make this one a better setup than all the other ones is the fact that we are trading back above this level now, and last time we traded above here, we pressed up to there. So like, that's just, it's just an extra confluence on top of everything. A lot of the other pairs are still inside of the range or hadn't pulled back all the way, so they hadn't made their full correction. So this pair had made its full correction, and after doing so, it decided that it wanted to make a shift in the direction it's going. And now we're going to hopefully just be able to get in with volume as New York kicks in. The New York macro, hopefully volume steps in our direction. We can clear these equal highs or whatever, and we can just get a nice clean base hit today. But structurally, we're just going to keep staying in alignment with structure, and I really fully believe that this is going to play out. So I've got my trade ready. We'll move it over to the match trader screen shortly once we get our parameters in place. We're on Euro US dollar. We're getting in a long at the start of this 850 New York macro, coming up right here in 16 seconds. And we'll do a little bit of a breakdown on yesterday's trade too. So, all right, we got 4, 3, 2. All right, we are in our position. Let me get our trade actually on the chart. Let's put our parameters in. Style inputs, open price, 50 flat. If I can get it there we go. This is going to be our trade. We're going to look for another push higher. A lot of people probably wouldn't be trying to get long here. That's the thing. A lot of people are trying to go against the structure. Alright. We got our stop in place. I mean, 5 minute could be starting to get bearish, but here's the thing. The 5 minute is just, it could be getting bearish internally on, you know, bullish moves higher on the uptrend. Like, the smaller time frames really are being starting to, like in Forex at least, it seems they have to submit to the higher time frames. Now, yesterday, we're going to break down yesterday's trade. Let's see something really quick. Make sure our parameters are in place. Just show you guys that we're in this actual trade now, Euro US dollar. We're going for the same thing, a 2% gain, risking 2%. We are taking our stop loss right here. Make sure it's on right. Risking about 10K to make 10K. And our take profits on right. So got this trade loaded up. We're gonna let it play out now. It's locked in. So yesterday's trade, guys, there was nothing necessarily wrong with it, right? Like, this is a setup that is, you know, more than capable of playing out. You can see we had a big run up in price, and I'm gonna kind of break it down with like just a case study of another trade. But we had a big run up in price, and price maintained being bullish, and then it got here, and then it got bullish again, and then like it could have very well went higher, because like there's a trade I took like that not too long ago. You can see right here, this was just the other week. I forget what news folder this was. But look, we had that run up in price. It's almost identical, right? And then we got, this was around like right in here was about like that macro. We got bullish again, and then that was another run higher, and then price continued higher. So it's like, it was just it was a probabilities trade. I thought there was a higher probability of it going in our favor because we just had structural alignment, and it just didn't work out yesterday. You can see there was a lot of big money that just sold off right when, honestly, quite honestly, it should have worked out, right? But for whatever reason, they wanted to drive prices lower. Maybe it was to get back into here before they trade higher again. But nonetheless, even after such a massive move back down yesterday, there hasn't been any, like we haven't shifted bearish. So, all that being said, I'm going to check the chat now. Yeah, 15 pip stop loss, but this is a 14 pip just because it's, just because I have commissions. I have commissions on the, the prop account, so I do a 14 pip stop and 16 pip take profit. But yeah, man, you're right. It's tough with that when those big candles come into the market, because then you're just playing inside of ranges. But if you know which range the direction's going, it does help. It does help a good amount. But we will, in about 10 minutes too, we're going to just set and forget this trade like we did yesterday. I'll update the Telegram after it plays out. I don't want to get in the habit of just watching them play out, because like yesterday, I'll be honest, like, yeah, I wasn't upset or anything. I was able to just move on with my day. But had we sat there and watched this whole thing, it push up and then come down and take us out, first day back on stream, that would have been stressful. So I do like these set and forget streams where we can just get on, talk in the mornings. It doesn't take too long for anyone. Like it's super easy for us to all meet here every day, and then just go on about the day. So like around 9 o'clock when this 4-hour candle closes, we'll hop off and we'll set alerts and stuff. Thanks for hopping in, Luca. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be here. But yeah, if anyone has any questions or anything on like how I went through that, I am gonna try to get on like a little bit earlier, like 10 minutes earlier, just to kind of go over my structure a little bit sooner. That way I have like 10 more minutes. That way we're not like as rushed. But we weighed all our options today, and it was I think it was just a quick run through. But even on the 15-minute now internally here, this is not a half bad spot to have our trade to, because we've got this 15-minute internal protected low right here. Actually, quite frankly, we've got two of them we would have to go through, and the markets would just have to completely flip bearish for the day for us to lose this trade. So we've got, and that's one thing too, if you're gonna have a set stop like 15 pips or whatever, when you're selecting your trades, you want to be able to do that. You want to be able to do that in a way that like respectfully your trade's gonna get respected based on like structure and stuff too, based on like the 15-minute or the smaller time frame that you're entering on. Like US dollar Swiss franc, for example. Like if we entered on this trade, now I guess it still would be like right at it, but you guys get the idea. So you see, you do want to, like, if you're going to risk 15 pips, you want to kind of draw on your trade and know, okay, where's that 15 pip stop going to be? Is it going to be behind something that's important? You know, so that way you do have a little bit of breathing room and kind of protected areas to base it off of. Yeah, I'll keep this locked in though. That way we've got it for just kind of like to look back on the charts and stuff afterwards. No, so no, that's not the first loss on the account. I was on I didn't lose a single trade until my second trade on the funded account. So I had won every single trade in the audition, and I had won a bunch of trades on the cash account before. So I was on a longer streak, but when I came into like the actual account on the audition, I hadn't lost a single trade in the audition. We won 5 out of 5. And then once we got into the funded account, I won the first trade, and then I started getting break even a lot. So after we started getting break even a lot, then the thing happened with the spread, and then on Friday I ended up taking 2 trades just because I was so stressed with things. I'm not gonna lie, like last week was pretty rough. I needed this last weekend to reset and get back to like just my discipline in one trade and everything. Um, but yeah, like we lost a trade on Friday after I had finally got the account back after the spread thing. Then we won another one, and then we got the account back up to 513,000. But last week was a lot back and forth, and I think a lot of it had to do with I wasn't as aligned structurally on the smaller time frames as I was on the higher for some pairs that I traded, but also um, I was just kind of getting like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They had news folders at like 10 a.m. and 9:45, and in the evening at 2 p.m. And a lot of my trades just I think were sitting waiting for something to happen with that. And so it was kind of a messy week last week for me. The fact that we survived it was an amazing thing. Now I believe this week's just gonna trade a lot smoother. I had thought so yesterday, and then it's like yesterday we just completely flipped structure like on its head around like getting close to like 10:45. Like the market just started distributing down, right? And it's like this though, there's no way I could have known this was gonna happen. I yesterday I took such a good trade that's made me money time and time again that I'm like I can't even be mad about it. Like that's the type of trades you want to take, the ones where you're like I was literally in alignment on like I was going with the trend, right? I was literally doing what price was doing. So if price stopped doing what it was doing, it's like you can't even be mad at that, right? Because clearly there's a lot bigger money that came in and flooded the market downward. So I wasn't upset about yesterday, but it was a good setup. It was like this was a very similar setup to one of the ones that helped me pass the audition. So I was like, okay, I can't even be mad about that. No, the stream curse is broken. I speak it to be broken. The stream has a blessing on it too. You got to understand because there's a layer of accountability that's not just in my personal trading. So like we're here and we're taking our setups one day at a time and we're hopping on together and they're gonna start pushing in our favor. It's gonna be a much bigger version of what happened last year in December. It's just gonna happen before our eyes. We just gotta wait for it to happen. We're just watching it unfold at this point. I probably need to get the basic plan again or something. Alright guys, but it's 9 a.m. now. Let's take a look at that 4-hour candle close before we get off. You can see not only did we fail to go lower, but we're closing above our previous bear candle. We have a change in a state of delivery, and we are maintaining this level very strongly, getting 2 good clean reactions off of it after making strong attempts to go down. I like the buys. I like 2. This is what I like a lot. I really like this because I like to see things that like might get retail trapped, and like the fact that this just created such an obvious spot for stop losses and for people to maybe think this is going down. You have to understand, structure tells you a very clear picture, but if you don't see the structure and you just see things like this, like there's a lot of people right now taking trades in this market not understanding that the 15 minutes bullish, not understanding that the 4 hours bullish. Like there's a lot of people, and it's because they create all of this noise in it. Like structure it's a very clear picture, but it's only like very clear to the trained eye, right? Like it's very messy otherwise, like extremely messy otherwise. Like I can show you, and I can show you too exactly how I know that this 15 minute is in the trend it's in. And like, let me do this. I'm gonna make this red that way for the sake of, you know, being able to see it better. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I saw without any candles, but it's going to take a second. I gotta draw it on, and then we're gonna close the stream. We're gonna set and forget for the day, but I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I do this. And once you draw it on enough, you'll be able to start seeing it with the naked eye. But structure is telling you exactly what price is doing, and the only thing is though is there's going to be a whole lot of noise inside of the structure that's going to try to trick people out or try to get people to do the opposite of what it's actually doing. So kind of what we're seeing in the market right now is probably it trying to get people to do the opposite of what it's about to do. And that's basically presenting like an opportunity for people to go short. So here's the thing. There's a whole lot of noise in here. We have to identify a few things. We have to identify the external swing points, which is here, where we first start this big push down, this downtrend, right? Now, if we're only going based off of, let me even do this. This being a structural high in this downtrend, and this being a structural low in this downtrend, price breaks above here and creates a new high, right? When it creates this new high, it creates a new range, right? That break of structure creates a new range, and then this is the low of the range because this is where it pushed, right? With it pushing like that and creating this new high, this is our new established range, and we are still in this range. And that's how I was able to see this. We're still in this range. We did wick the bottoms, but we failed to go lower, and now we're even trending higher. And you can see, because we did not close lower, we're still respecting this bullish move up. And yes, we did take this high, but ideally we should continue to push higher. Volume's coming into New York. We're pulling back a little bit right now, but if it's going to respect the structure that it's doing in the time frame alignment, we should see another run higher, hopefully. Hopefully before it takes us out. But that's kind of all I was looking at and how I saw it, if that makes sense. But we're going to close the stream out. We're gonna see if we can survive this little rundown while we're even still on here. But we'll close it out. We'll close it out in prayer. So Father, we just thank you for today. We thank you for my brothers on the stream. We just thank you for giving us the ability to keep going when it gets hard, and we just thank you for giving us clarity in the markets and just helping us to navigate all these different seasons and market cycles. Father, we just pray for increased self-control and clarity in our lives. We just pray that you continue to guide us into your word so we can spend time with you, and that we can know the truth and be set free in all the different areas of our life. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, guys. We're going to let this one play out. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to set alerts. I'm going to update the Telegram, the same thing as yesterday. Amen. We're gonna see if this can happen, though. But I will see you guys tomorrow on the stream. We're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna try to get on like 10 minutes earlier, that way we got more time and it's not as rushed. If you guys watched the beginning of this, I was kind of flying through things, so hopefully it's not gonna be as rushed tomorrow. I'll try my best to get on early. But I love you guys. I'll see you in the Telegram. If you're not there, links in video description where you'll get the trade update. We'll see how it played out, base hit after base hit, and we're gonna get this thing to the finish line. So love you guys. See you tomorrow.